Today, though, I've prepared a special presentation for you. I've spent a lot of time on this because it's interesting. I pay attention to what's happening in the real estate industry, both through my coaching calls and through Facebook groups. Most of my clients are top performing agents, and so they don't always have the same issues that individual agents do, or sometimes I don't always hear what team agents are dealing with. And so recently, what's been showing up as a pattern is what I would consider to be a lot of bad advice, and also the underestimation of the power of mastery and what the real benefit of skill is. So one thing that we kind of lost over the last, I would say, 5 to 6 years, just as an example, is regular and consistent script practice. You know, when I started in 2008, 2009, everybody script practiced because you had to. There were 12 months of inventory. And so if you didn't know what you were going to do or how you were going to say it, you didn't get anything. And if you did, you would never get it sold. And so what I wanted to share with you all today is 3 examples of how skill ultimately gives you more of what everyone wants. Everyone wants more of 2 things: money and time, which, when you think about living in a capitalistic society, which is what we live in today, that's how we mostly equate freedom: money and time. So I'm going to show you the impact of this. So let me share my screen here. And we titled this "The Benefit of Skill." Now, I will post this slide or this presentation into the Facebook group so that you all have it. Now, I use this first as an agent on a team because one of the things that I've been hearing is agents saying, I'm working too hard, I'm working too much, I want an increased split, blah, blah, blah. And to me, that just doesn't make sense. I don't see why anybody is trying to increase their dollar per deal instead of increasing their dollar per hour. And I always know if I'm talking to a business-minded person versus just a realtor, because business-minded people are more interested in their dollar per hour than they are their dollar per deal. Just hands across the board. In fact, a statement that I made recently kind of hit a nerve with some people, that I would rather have 50% of a watermelon than 100% of a grape. And so I want to show you the impact here of somebody who's highly skilled and what that ultimately means. So Lazy Susan here. Lazy Susan is somebody who does not take skill and mastery seriously. And her income goal monthly is $10,000. So Lazy Susan has an income goal of $10,000, and we're running a study on her skill level. Okay, so Lazy Susan's set to held percentage is 60%. Her appointment held to signed is also 60%. And her signed to closed, whether it's buyer or seller, is 65%. And if her average commission is $4,000, and I'll move my head, Jenny, chill, or I'm going to freak out on you. Okay, I'm kidding, but not really. I will show it to you. But the average commission is $4,000 on the team. Okay. So in order for them to hit their monthly goal, they've got to have 3 closings, which, based upon their conversion rates, they have to have 4 signed agreements, 6 held appointments, and 11 appointments set. Okay. Now, we also tracked their lead generation efficiency. This Lazy Susan, she's making 4 contacts an hour, and it takes 60 contacts for her to set an appointment. So if we're looking at 11 appointments set, she has to make 641 contacts to make 11 appointments. And because her lead generation or contacts per hour is 4, that means she has to lead generate 160 hours. So now I'm going to move this way. There you go, Jenny. So that's just lead generation time. Then we looked at service time, right? So if it takes Lazy Susan on average an hour to prepare for each appointment, it's half an hour to drive to the appointment, buyer, seller, whatever. And then her presentations on average are 2 hours. Then she has transaction time. Now, Lazy Susan, she doesn't want to learn the systems and models of the team. She doesn't want to communicate with the operations team. She doesn't want to follow the checklist because nobody does it better than Lazy Susan. Okay. So her transaction hours per transaction is 12. So what happens is we're able to calculate based off of 3 closings per month that her total prep time in hours is 6, drive time is 3, presentation time is 13, and her total transaction hours is 30 for her to hit the goal of 3 transactions. And I know that these numbers round up a little bit, but here's what I want you to really see is that because Lazy Susan is highly unskilled and does not use leverage because she doesn't communicate and thinks that she can do it better, her total time to hit her goal, this is time for lead generation and service, is 213 hours. So in 1 month, she has to put in just over 60 hours or under 60 hours per week to make this work. Her transaction time, hours per transaction, is 85, and her dollar per hour is $47. So that's Lazy Susan. She wants to make 100 grand a month. That's what she's going to have to do. And see, Lazy Susan's the kind of agent that goes to the rainmaker and says, well, I need a higher split because of this, 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 and this. And I'm sitting here scratching my head going, you're trying to increase your dollar per deal and you don't even care about your dollar per hour. That's insane. So then, now I'm going to hide this. Haha, Jenny. Average Sally. Now, average Sally, she does an okay job, but let's just look at how she improves over Lazy Susan. Same goal, same average commission. Okay. Set to held to 70, 10% better. Held to sign 70, 10% better. Same with sign to close. Same number of goals as far as like closed units. Now, her signed agreements is less. And again, this rounded up and rounded down, so I know it isn't perfect. But her appointments held is also less. And so are her appointments set. Now, contacts per hour, she's better than Lazy Susan. She makes 1 contact more per hour. And it takes her 10 less contacts to set an appointment. So she needs 340 contacts to hit the appointment set she needs, which is 68 hours of lead generation. Now, prep time, she's a little bit better because she breaks down what she does and how she preps for appointments. So we said it was 45 minutes. Drive time is the same. Presentation time is a little bit better. You know, like when I was preparing this, the person I was thinking of is Craig Kellner because he's on Tony Baroni's team. And I promise you that if you took Craig and average Sally and put them both in a listing presentation, Craig is going to leave in half the amount of time with a listing that is at the commission that the Tony Baroni team charges and a price that's going to cause it to sell, whereas average Sally probably isn't. So he's spending less time and being more effective. Her transaction time, average Sally's a little better at handing off the stuff to the operations team. She's kind of buying this idea that she doesn't know everything or that the operations team can do it better. So prep time, totals, hours total, all that. Now, time to hit the goal in hours, 106. Now, you said you wanted more time, right? It's literally half. By just focusing on those conversion rates and making her process better, 42 hours per transaction, and her dollar per hour is $94. That's average Sally. Okay, you're starting to get where I'm going here. Skill matters. Mastery matters. Here's the last one. Haha, Jenny did it again. Amazing Sam. Now, Sam, she's like dang it, she almost saw it. Amazing Sam, same goals, everything. As you can see, Amazing Sam is better in conversion, and her contacts per hour are 6 hours of lead gen to hit her goal. Her prep time is better. Her drive time's the same. Presentation is better. Now, Amazing Sam She partners in production with the operations team. And what that means is that if the operations team isn't perfect, she communicates that to them. She says, hey, we could do better on this file. She doesn't harbor resentments. She airs her grievances in a respectful and professional way, right? She partners with the operations team. So prep time, all of that, total time to hit the goal, 58. Hours per transaction, 23. And $172 an hour. So I want to know, I don't typically do this anymore, but what's your aha? What's your aha from looking at Lazy Susan to Average Sally to Amazing Sam? Somebody give me an aha.
Well, since I was fired as your favorite, I'll give an aha.
Publicly.
Your technology is amazing and I love it. And I'll be talking to you about that on our call. But I noticed that the effort isn't much different in between the huge dollar per hour. And I think Laura shares a great aha that she put in the chat too. That was mine.
Sweet. Daiquiri, or it's either Daiquiri or Melissa. I know they sign in under the same name. Work smarter, not harder. Josh said, put in the time, become a master. That's right. Sharpen the axe. I love that, Shaw. So you guys, if you want to make more money and have more time, and the same thing could be true of a rainmaker. Don't feel like I'm just picking on agents on a team. Skill creates freedom. Specifically in two areas, one, time, and two, money. And the other thing is that as you get more and more skilled, particularly at lead generation and conversion, guess what? You work with less assholes. And the reason is that when you have an abundance of something, like if I go pick like 6 apples and one of them is bad, I don't have to eat that apple. But if I pick one apple and it's bad, and I'm hungry, I'm kind of stuck. I either don't eat or I eat the bad apple. Are you with me? So I really want this to sink in that if you intend to become somebody who maximizes your revenue and shortens the amount of time that it takes, Gary says that every year top performing people should be asking themselves one thing: how do I earn more and work less? And that doesn't mean, agents on a team, that you're constantly going back to your rainmaker and demanding more. Be better. Be better. Get better at this. Because here's what I know about professionals. When I was growing up, I was big into like collecting basketball cards. I don't even know if kids still do this, but on the back of every card are the statistics of that player. And I've always had an assumption that if I had the opportunity to bump into Michael Jordan and I asked him, what was your field goal percentage the last season that you played with the Bulls? He would know that number to the 10th of a percent. He would say something like 49.2. Professionals know the back of their card. Do you? And the back of a card for a real estate agent: contacts per hour, contacts to set an appointment, set to held, held to sign, sign to close. Those 5 numbers are your path to freedom. And by the way, if you're making $172 per hour, you are in the top 3% in this country. Not 1%, you're getting there, but you're in the top 3% in this country. So I trust that that's helpful. We will provide you with the slides and everything from this. I'm sorry that it was a little ranty, but it needed to be said. And we will put that and the My Free Journey code in the Facebook group today. If you need anything else, please let us know. And please, please, please be checking your inboxes on Friday for the updates that I shared with you You may not be super excited about it, but getting the training calendar out 2 weeks before instead of 2 minutes before the clock strikes midnight of the new month is like a big deal to me. So thank you. All right, guys, make it a great week. Somebody tell me if the breakout rooms are open. They should be. Good. Thank you, Rebecca. All right, everyone. Talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.